I am here with the 2025 national champion in the men's discus, Reggie Jagers. How are you feeling for today's comp?
I'm feeling pretty well. I wanted to get started a little bit slower and just get better each throw. And lately, the past 4 weeks, I really found my stride and started season besting every meet and competing well. I'm up until that point. I really was lost in the season. My body wasn't responding. My back was killing me. And I finally got some consistency to be able to build a meet and have a good release. And I'm excited I was able to go pretty easy today and let my technique speak for itself and go from there. So.
Well, you say you were building across the whole season. Recently, before this meet, you threw over 68 meters as the season's best, getting close to your overall PB. Explain to me how does it feel to come back after last year? You narrowly missed making the Olympic team. Come in, you had gold on the mind, and you achieved that. How does this championship feel compared to last year?
I feel like I definitely learned a hard lesson last year. I warmed up at 70. I had a foul at 68 last U.S. champs or Olympic trials, and that really let me know you got to save your throws. You got to be very locked in and make sure you get it done. And that's what I did this meet. So I wanted to make sure let's focus on a release. Let's focus on following through. So there's no fouls on the board. And in round 5, I actually started cramping. My calves and my hips started cramping. So I really wanted to press and go harder, but I'm glad I was able to just relax and just get a good throw in. And even though it wasn't a better throw, it still was just consistent.
So you have made a coaching change. You're now working with Martin Marincher at USC. How has that change and transition been? And are you guys working on anything new in technique in the weight room? What do you think led to this championship?
I would say, especially moving around a lot, going from Kent State, then going to the training center, then going to USC, you really become self-sufficient. And it's good to have a good team around you. It's good to have good support. So I would say at the training center, I did have a better system of strength coach. I had a lot of funding with U.S. track and field. I had weight room. I had Coach Fisher who was doing my jumps, Coach Bashir doing my sprints. Everyone delegated their own position. We had nutrition too. We had people who were making food for us every day, so you had a good nutrition. Going over to USC, I basically had to create that team myself, and I was glad I was able to just be diligent, make sure you're getting the right people around you. And Jamie continued to work with me as well. Then adding Martin to the equation where me and him are more like-minded. I felt like that was a good coaching switch. And the only thing really is trying to reproduce a training center at your home location. Like, that's the hardest part because I train by myself with me and coach. A lot of NCAA rules don't really help Olympians or pros train. So we kind of got to have a separate, from the NCAA system, which is a little hard to do at USC because it's more about the athletes there.
So it's been 7 years since your last national championship at Des Moines, Iowa at Drake. How does this championship compare emotionally and everything you've been through since that last title?
I mean, I definitely teared up, I think, on my 4th or 5th throw, just because I've been so close. Like, even when I made the Olympic team, I tore my pec the year before. Even in 2019, I tore my labrum. Last season, I bulged a disc at the beginning of the year. So it's just injuries that keep popping up. But I feel like I'm a good competitor. I feel like I'm still PRing and season investing throughout all those injuries. But I really just want to have a stint where I'm just locked in, not getting hurt, and being able to just do my technique.
So you and Sam Mattis, I would consider, and Andrew Evans as well, have kind of been the front runners of the men's discus the last 7-8 years. How do you see the event evolving in the United States, especially after last year's trials where 7th place was 65 meters, and even this year's probably one of the most competitive nationals in the history of the U.S. Championship? How do you feel about the overall America's growth in the discus event?
I feel like we are growing across popularity and talent, but at the same time, we don't have the same support system that we used to have. Like I said, at the Olympic Training Center, it produced Ryan Krauser, Joe Kovacs, Andrew Evans, Mason Finley, a lot of top-tier Will Clay, Brittany Reese. They produced a lot of people who did really well for track and field, and also me up and coming, and also Darrell Hill. And I feel like now we don't have a training center. We don't really have a lot of funding across the throws. It's hard to get sponsorship. So I feel like that next generation come out of college, they really don't have any support. So I feel like we are getting better with popularity, but we're losing the funding. So compared to Europeans who they're probably 18, 19 years old, representing their country at the Olympics and the world champs, they're getting a lot of experience. They're getting a lot of support. They're just taking it slow, steady. And we kind of get thrown out to the wolves where they've already been in those competitions over and over. The world champs are just a meet for them, right? And then for us, it's a big deal because you got to train so hard to get out. You already don't have funding going against Europeans who have a full system. They have a physio, they have chiro, they have food, they have a coach, they have a training facility. Everything's built around them. So that is a hard thing, and I just pray that the next generation can just make it happen because you got to work through it.
So now that you won the national title, what's your game plan going to Tokyo? Are you doing any more meets in between? Or are you going to NACAC?
Uh, yeah, definitely. I feel like, to be honest, I just started. It really feels like 4 weeks ago is when I started throwing. The whole season before, my back was killing me. I was a little bit injured. Now I'm getting healthy. I'm setting up the right angles, and you could just see by my movement. You can see by the drills I'm doing, even the sprints, jumps, weight room. It feels like now I'm starting to build. So it seems like everyone else had a long season. They went to Oklahoma. They were throwing early. They're just throwing throughout this whole long time. So I feel like for me, I'm just getting going a little bit. So I definitely want to keep seeing what I could do.
Awesome, Reggie. Congratulations. Well done. You're 2025 national champion of the men's discus, Reggie Jagers.